So back from 5-minute break. So our next entry, our next match is going to be against it'll be Solwave Studios is our first entrant here. And match number 3. Solwave Studios coming through with a Macho Punk. Put that up on the screen for everybody. The Macho Punk gave a few different shots of it too, nice front and back. He also gave me pictures with the with a shirt on from the most recent Legends Macho, like the purple pink shirt with the jagged sleeves. He did put that on it for the purposes of the beauty shot, but I'm not gonna, include that into the judging because it kind of takes away from the trunks and being able to see what all he's done there.
But based on Osprey earlier, if he submitted it, it's included.
Right, if he submitted it, it's included. He did submit it. So the beauty shot is there of it's the same thing with just the shirt on.
Yeah.
So he did shirt on, shirt off. But we're going to be judging this shirt off for the purposes of
just waiting for Mr. Figgles to send it through.
It's literally
you could just scroll,
the only
George.
difference is the shirt. The only difference is the shirt, I can assure you. So it's not gonna take anything away or add anything to our scores. So.
I can assure you.
Assure you.
Mm.
All right, fellas. So what are we having on this?
Okay, I'll go first.
Solwave
I'll jump in.
Studios.
Right. So these are the actual Macho pants, but they've added the decal to the back, right?
Right, and I believe they are ghost white decals.
What does that mean?
It just means that they're not stark white. They're not like a transparent white.
They're not completely opaque.
Right, they're not completely opaque. Correct.
Right. Okay. So yeah.
Like this, Matt. I've got one in the bin here. Sorry. So it's printed white. And then it's on clear. You can't see fuck all, but it's on clear paper basically.
Yeah. Just looks like you showed me a litmus test. But all right, cool. So, okay, the application of the actual CM Punk itself, as it appears in the photo, whether that's true or not, is slightly lopsided. But it doesn't appear to have any creases, and I can't see like any edges given the quality of this image. Maybe that's betraying my eye, but I can't see any edges to the decal. So it looks as if it's part of the actual figure, which is decent, but it is slightly skew to an extent. The boots are painted pretty decently. They
were stark white. Looks like they were stark white, judging by the ankle joint.
Yeah, they've given the yellow match is pretty
yellow
good.
Is also, I want to shout out yellow as another fuck you
horrible
color to work with. Yeah, absolutely horrendous to work with.
It is levels above the worst. Like the worst is yellow, a big, and then bright... the next worst is yellow, then yellow again, then yellow again, and then white. It's fucking awful. But
this is a big, bright, in your face highlighter yellow.
Yeah, and this is very nicely applied. The boots look, I would go as far to say, from the images that I can see on my phone, it's pretty much stock. They look really decent.
Now, starting with a white base does help to get that big bright yellow to pop with a nice flat stark white stock factory base.
Very nice indeed. It doesn't look like there's any change to the tattoos aside from the added.
Correct, and the Pepsi. The Pepsi is also on there as well.
And the neck tattoo.
Now, I will absolutely, completely, and utterly ignore any creases on the shoulder ball joint of the figure, because that is going on to a near spherical shape, and unless there's actual strategic cuts in the decal, there's zero chance of avoiding the creases. It just won't work, and I know that, having not even ever applied a decal.
Does anyone know, Alex? Sorry, I don't mean to interrupt, Alex. Is this a thigh? Is this the same thighs as a stock CM Punk? Because from the waist up, it is definitely a stock Mattel CM Punk.
Yeah, it looks like it's the stock thighs.
They gave him the big thighs like that.
Need some gloves.
All right, I haven't gone first with my whole thoughts yet, so I'll take this opportunity while he's away to go first on this custom. He did say that the decal on the back is a little askew, which it is. I just wanted to confirm for myself that the parts were stock parts. So he did work with just a base CM Punk and has only repainted the trunks with added decals and then repainted the boots. I'm not sure if those knee pads came yellow. They look yellow though. And if those are stock yellow knee pads like that, then he did a wonderful job matching that yellow to the boot. Fire job.
Yeah.
Seamless. Absolutely
Agreed.
seamless. God, like I'm not gonna factor Mattel's job into this because from the waist up, I really can't fairly judge it. Like it's fuck Mattel, man. The decal apps for what they are were applied good, nice in the center. They're not crazy.
Is the hair and beard repainted? It looks like it's painted blacker.
I was thinking that too.
I think it is that black. I've got the head.
There'd be no need for these.
1 second.
So with
around the year, so I'm
those-
assuming that's painted.
those knee pads are definitely stock. I'm looking at the pictures he sent. They're definitely stock knee pads.
They're from the Macho with the purple cape.
The defining
headband.
moments.
That's it. Yeah.
But that is a really good color match with
Here's the head.
with the
It is
boots.
black.
Black as the ace of spades. So what I'm looking at in this then, just to round it up to keep things moving, is the
Right.
application on the decal at the back is devoid of any creases, but it could be straighter. The paint match is absolutely on point, and the lines on the boots are absolutely painted to perfection. From what I can see of the images, the decals, I'm disregarding any creases on the shoulder because it's a near spherical surface, and alignment wise, they're absolutely on point. And that's where I'm finishing. If there is a repaint to the head because of paint chipping, then that's done cleanly enough. That's where I'm at with it. There's not much more to say.
Figgles.
I'm going similar. The decal work is solid. The use of the paint match from the stock Mattel knee pads to the yellow kick pad, the yellow and white kick pads is a damn near almost perfect match. Yeah, it's pretty good overall. It looks like it could be off the shelf from Mattel, just by the looks of it.
Just one quick, if I could say that if you wanted to add more levels of customization to this, then I think he's got a lot of opportunity because the line work of the outline of the tattoo detail is provided by Mattel. And he could take the option, if he wanted to just maybe add a little bit of color, because if you actually go through the stock tattoos of the Mattel figure, you could probably narrow it down to about 5-6 colors. So there's an option there if he wanted to add a little bit more. And I'm not saying that he didn't because he didn't think he wanted to. No reason, no slight against him. I'm just saying there's additional room to add further customization to the figure, and that is what I would say would be the area for improvement or the area to advance towards. To aim for. If he wanted to really lay on a sick custom figure of CM Punk.
That was a question asked in a previous match, was what could have been done to this to carry it further to the intended goal. And with the other custom, it was, well, not much can be done to carry it further to get it where it needs to be. For I believe it was the Roman, but with this,
it's a strange argument because you look and you think, in terms of like the Danhausen, in terms of achieving the look, if this is what you're going for, you've nailed it. But let's just say these Macho trunks never existed and he didn't use decals for the stars. How would he have painted them? Would have been a mish, to have been able to do that. But it's provided for him, so he's been able to achieve the overall look easier than somebody that didn't have the luxury of those parts available to them.
Right. Jason, what's your thoughts, man?
Pretty much the same as everybody else. Just right down the center of the road. It looks like it came out of a package. Yeah. I don't know why. I guess the hair was repainted. I'm just wondering why he sent all the headshots too.
The
I
hair
think
was
he
not
was-
repainted. Yeah, you weren't around for the reveal, but I have the head right here,
Okay.
and it's black all the way to the back, and it's got the black beard, black eyebrows.
Sorry for chiming in so many times, but if I were just to add another viewpoint that might help others in their assessment of what we're looking at, if you wanted this custom from this guy, and say you didn't have the skills to put it together yourself, you wouldn't be upset with what you got. Like,
No,
Yeah.
no.
Mm-mm.
you know, this is so long as it was priced accordingly with the personal effort put into it, as opposed to just the sourcing of parts and swapping of parts, then I would be really happy if I wanted this version of CM Punk and it turned up. I would be more than pleased, so long as the price was appropriate to the time spent, you know, taking into consideration sourcing parts and whatnot. So it is nothing to take away from this figure. It's just that there's not an awful lot there in terms of, go back to the Jushin, that guy is shooting for the moon.
Yeah.
You know, and we've got, and I know these are head to heads, but you know, looking overall, based on what we've already seen, I've got to find my rating there amongst the actual customizable parts of it, or the customized parts.
Yeah. Jordan.
I have issues. So, like you said, looking at it, it's clean. It does what it's meant to do. There's very little ambition put into it, and it's very inaccurate. So, for one, the stars on the front, they're basic Mattel. You could have improved that by actually sizing, having decals sized correctly. They're not all bunched up together. They're spread across the top of the thighs. My second problem with the decal is on the back, where he's applied the ghost decals. They're meant to be applied on top of a white paint, and then you paint around them. So that's why it doesn't look as white as the front does. The other issues, accuracy-wise, are no Nexus armband. That armband's upside down. That's nothing. That's just, but it's a photo. I mean, when you're putting your effort in, it's a photo. The knee pads are incorrect. However, they are the knee pads that came with the Macho, so I can see why they was used. But again, if you're going back, if you're going to put, I don't want to say little to none, but if you're going to put less effort into the full custom, you should at least make sure it's accurate to the parts that you're using. And the kick pads, whilst painted very nice in yellow, and I might even message him to ask him how he's managed to do that, are also incorrect, because CM Punk does not wear flat front kick pads. He wears the ones with the patterns to the side.
Like this.
Yes. But it's clean. It does a job. It's not. You wouldn't look at that and go, "Oh, that's shit." It's fucking nice, to be honest. But like you said earlier, this is a custom competition, not a beauty pageant, and that's where it downfalls for me.
But it would look sick on the shelf still.
Yeah, very nice. It would look nice, and to be honest, it wouldn't go amiss on a shelf. You know what I mean? It's only because we're sort of savvy to parts and accuracy that, you know.
And Mattel only made this basic, right? So kind of he's taken a basic to make a custom.
Yeah,
to make
an elite
No.
on a basic.
Yeah.
On an existing
No, they've
one.
made the elite, haven't they? From that, this is all Macho elite parts, not basic parts.
No.
I think he's saying the
Yeah,
punk.
Oh, the
figure
punk.
exists as a
was in
basic.
basic
Yeah.
form.
Okay. The other thing on the decals was where the Spitfire was sort of, don't know how to word it. If he'd have added more red microset, that would have dried that out nicely, and you wouldn't get the drying patterns. But it is a bit of a bitch on the ball joint. So I'm just being picky on it, and I'm only being picky on it because there's not actually the arm pad isn't upside down. There's not a lot of customizing gone into it. Also, the hand crosses should be black, not red. See what I mean? When there's not much there to judge on customizing, you've got to judge the accuracy of it. And if you're going to do sort of not much customizing, you need to make sure it's accurate.
Going to scrutinize it more.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So that's what I mean earlier when I say that the what could have been done more to bring it to a higher level. This one,
Accuracy, that's all. The actual work itself is if he'd have put that level of work into the accuracy,
Right.
then that could have been, 4.5, 5.
All right. So overall,
Yeah.
let's start with Figgles. Overall.
I'm gonna go 3. Overall 3.
Right.
Just because as we talk, the recurring theme is not necessarily the effort in putting it in, but the effort to be as accurate as possible.
Okay. Yeah. Jason.
I'm gonna go 2.5 just because fuck CM Punk.
CM Punk 2.5. Hey, fair enough. 2.5 because fuck CM Punk. Jordan, what about you?
I'm gonna stay on sort of course of what I've been doing. I'm gonna go for a 3.
3. Okay. An attitude.
I'm going to go 2.5, not because of how good it looks, but just because of what it took to get to where it is, and because of some of the inaccuracies.
When we were talking, the reason I had mentioned the what could have been done to make it better with the Roman that I gave a 3 to. Remember that I said there wasn't much more he could have done to make a better Roman. Maybe add some accessories, but that wouldn't have meant shit to the contest or the whatever unless he made it himself. So not a lot, and it was a fantasy year. This one, I feel like I have answers to that. There are things that he could have done to take it to that level. So for that reason, because I gave Roman a 3, I can't be unfair to this. I'm going to give it a 2.5 as well.
It's difficult, right? Because if you go into a custom car contest and you've got a kit car or you've got a Ferrari that's repainted, the Ferrari looks fucking way better. But the person who built the kit car has built the custom car. The other one's just do you know what I mean?
Uh-huh.
It's
You're
difficult.
100% right.
That's perfect.
You're 100% right.
I hope
all right,
everybody
so-
who's competing in this realizes that we're splitting hairs and judging and picking out particular details because we want to be able to distinguish one from another, and we're
Right.
not tearing anyone down at all. And it's
Right.
really
Oh no, because at the end of the day, it takes balls.
First, yeah. Let me go ahead.
It takes
and just,
balls.
Like yeah, absolutely. But just to go ahead and put that out there, we're not in any way intending to give any bad vibes or any kind of
Oh hell no! Yeah,
harsh criticism at
No.
all. to
they're
any
all
of our
miles ahead of what
contestants.
I could do. So I don't
Yeah.
like I
This is
said, I don't even know why I'm
purely
here.
constructive. This is all just to help you, level up faster, or help you carry to where we believe that you can go. Everybody here has potential. If you didn't, you wouldn't be here. So,
and it's 5
that's what I wanted to stress.
Only 5 opinions.
It's only
on
5
something
opinions,
that
correct.
someone's made. There's plenty more people out there that have different mindsets, who do it and don't do customizing, and they would have completely different views. And it's definitely not made to tear anyone down.
I mean, full disclosure as well. We did say feelings were going to get hurt tonight. So,
Hey man, if that's how you handle constructive criticism, then I can't help you. I'm not your therapist. I can tell you though that that's not how it's intended. We do not intend to
I'm
hurt
just playing.
anybody's
So,
feelings. Or...
It's all great work. Like everyone could go on the shelf, and you'd think Mattel put it out. So yeah.
All right, so yeah, great work. It's just I'm gonna have to give it a 2.5 just because, like I said, there are things that it could have been a little bit better. So Saw Wave here, Macho Punk will be facing entry number 6, who comes to us from Beeves Custom Figs, and it is the All-In 2018 Cody Rhodes.
The username again, please, Tom.
Versus Nick Aldie.
The Prince.
So the story behind this figure is this was the Secret Santa that was made for Megan for Misfigures. And we have chosen not to take it out of the box, but for the purposes of the judging of the custom, we have included front and back shots. So from the waist up, it's just a Jazz Wears Cody, and there's not a lot to judge there. He did make a bloody variant face, which looks really good.
I was going to ask.
So hang on.
Did he paint that blood, or was it the blood?
He did
guts?
paint the blood on the face.
Okay.
I believe.
Okay, I was going to ask.
I think it's a blood and guts Cody head, because there's no. Let me see.
Are we
It
judging?
is not. No, absolutely not. Because the blood and guts Cody has like blood in his hair and all over it, and the one that he did was just on the forehead and like the bridge of the nose and stuff, and in the eyes.
Are we judging all the photos that I can see on his account, or just the two that Alex has sent in
He's
the group?
got the ones I took and put in the chat were from his account. So, but he's included a bunch on his account. But
what's he included to be submitted, not what's on his account?
What he included to be submitted was the pictures he included from his account.
Just
From
what
his
we
post-
just what's in
from
the chat.
the post on the account. Yeah, but I gave the front and back view of the tights because all else that was included with it was the weight belt that had the do the work weight belt. Then he had a belt from Chaos, and I think that was it. Just a belt from Chaos, the
bloody
weight
head.
belt, and the bloody
I
head.
find the lack of presentation an issue because I'm just looking at two photos of a pair of tights.
Yeah.
And these were the submitted shots.
Whereas if you go on his actual account,
Yeah, he's got more. The ones that he submitted were all of them. I just chose to include the front and the back of the tights. I probably could have.
okay, that's fair then. So I can judge everything on his post. That's fine.
That'll be my fault for not submitting all of them that he gave. But
What's his name again?
Beavis.
Beaves, Beavs, Beaves Custom Figs.
Like Beavis.
Not Beavis.
Oh, yeah, I follow that guy.
So yeah, it's up on the screen for the YouTubers out there. But it is All In 2018 Cody versus Nick Aldis for the NWA World Heavyweight Championship, which he won that night.
It gave you the Samoa Joe towel as well.
He did give him the Samoa Joe.
That's a nice touch.
I put that Samoa Joe on my rock figure when I first I got it as part of like a lot of accessories, and it sits on the rock figure so fucking well. It looks perfect. If anybody has a rock that's just like in the tights or the trunks, and they want to just spice up a boring looking rock figure, put the towel on him. It looks great.
Can I begin with this one? Because I can't see that you may say anything other than what I'm about to. So, decals are applied nice, they're too small. Gold's applied very nice. It is a little thick in points, but there's no blemishes in it. So, you can argue that maybe he had to go thick to do it. Whilst I appreciate the effort of a blood, because I do like a bloody figure, the blood is not painted very well, especially when there's actual pots of paint that will give you the blood. As if I show you this, you see the difference. Matt, you might not see the shine.
Yeah.
So that's Citadel Blood of God. Oh shit!
For the blood god.
Whereas this is just painted red. Blood, it's not accurately painted. Sorry, was the tights repainted white?
Yes.
Yeah, they are a little thick, but again, it's white. They are very nice.
Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and throw my wrench in here and say that the white on the tights, what we were talking about earlier, was how bad white is to behave. That's kind of an example of even with good coverage. Sometimes you'll get like the aeration of the paint. The paint will aerate after it's done being applied. And some people will thin out their whites to help combat that and just do layers. And some people will, it's not even the white that you use. It's just sometimes white paint in general aerates after it's applied. So it'll
on a shelf that'll look nice in the collection, but as a standout piece, you'll start, you know what I mean? You'll start picking at the things. I don't know if Jazzwares normally does this, but where he's used a white wrist hand thingy, he hasn't put it up to the wrist, which looks weird, but overall the hands look weird on Jazzwares anyway. They're curb stomp decals. Curb supplies 2 patterns per print. What he could have done was extended those down to the boots, which I believe where they should be.
Yeah, and the thigh because curb
Thigh
is a
band.
little bit big. Yeah, that thigh wrapped. I mean, I'm sure he cut it a little bit, and it still gave a little overlay. But I'm sure it wrapped around like at least 1.5 times around that thigh.
Yeah, so where his gold on the back of the thigh is, he could have maybe tidied that up, as we were saying earlier, paint into your pattern with the white. Now, I'm not knocking it. It is a nice custom, but
And it is painted white, first of all.
Yeah.
yeah, that's the hardest thing
painted
straight up.
Exactly.
And the coverage is good. It's a little bit glossy. I don't know what paint he's used, or maybe that might be the.
That might have been the sealer. Yeah, might have been the mod.
It might be the light, because if you look at the first picture in the box, it doesn't look glossy. It looks like he's using the flash.
I'm literally only going by the 2 pictures that that Tommy sent. Sorry, but you know what? One of the things that stands out to me is the I don't even want to call them the discs that are, the double sort of loop discs that sit between the knees, like the knee joints. The back of the knee, whether or not he's articulated it since painting it or not, I don't know. But in any case, that paint is held up if it has been moved.
Whereas the other ones that had painted white earlier, they'd probably covered it, but they'd moved it.
And you can see that mark. And this hasn't got it. And I don't know, you've left it in the box, Tommy?
Yeah, I left it in the box. We haven't opened it.
Okay. Well, I mean, in any case, as it stands, as it's been photoed, because we don't know otherwise, it's good coverage on all of the components of the legs. So for me, that's the biggest bugbear. I fucking hate having to paint any joints or anywhere that will touch. And I can't see even at the top of the thigh on the front photo, just as it the top of the leg piece nestles into the crotch piece, there's not even a dent or a mark to show that leg's been articulated after paint, to show that that's come off. So in terms of the application, as this photo shows, it looks fucking crisp. It looks really good to me. But I agree with what Jordan was saying. Those decals, if they're intended to go down to the boots, there's a gap. And that's a shame. But in terms of placement on the actual kneecaps of the figure, they're nicely central. There's no issue there at all. And the gold is applied really nice. It's solid. There's the line work is pretty good. It's not perfect, but it's there. It's absolutely passable without question, and it's saturated nicely. It's a good build up of gold that I think you get the full effect. It's just really tough to judge by just a single pair of tights. If we're going to the pictures on the post and looking at the blood, I do agree with Jordan that the blood, maybe if we're going for a little bit more realism, would be darker in certain areas. There'd be a contrast in drying blood and new blood and all the rest of it to give it a bit more depth. But I think we're going a little bit further than, and with all due respect, the participants that are in this particular competition would be aiming for. So I think it's passable for what they're intending it to be. And I do like the touch of the towel and the belt being included. So overall, I wouldn't say much, but then saying that, what do we all know about Cody Rhodes Jazzware heads? They're all painted like dog shit. So there could have been an improvement made there, even if it was a slight change to the lip tone or something, just to give a little bit more to the figure. But yeah, overall,
I'm trying to figure out what Cody Rhodes doesn't have wrist tape. All mine have wrist tape on, because you pointed that it just goes under the wrist instead of over the wrist. So now I'm like thinking, if he how did he
probably swap the arms and then put the hand back on?
How'd that happen?
Figgles, what's your thoughts?
I think I'm personally just going to be more of a stickler for this one, because having made the same figure, my first custom I ever did was the In Cody. So I do know that, this one's kind of a little bit closer to home for me. That being said, the white does look good. There's some spots where it kind of has some oversaturation, but I'm not gonna knock it, because the white is just really, it's rough to do. His gold on the boots actually pops a lot more than the decals normally would. So that looks like it's been painted. It was painted by hand as well.
Did you airbrush the white on yours, Figgles, Alex? On your Elite that you made, is that airbrush white?
Yeah, I airbrushed it.
Yeah, that is smooth.
Cheater.
Smarter.
That's nice. It's really nice.
Yeah, I know.
No, but you can tell the difference between a paintbrush and an airbrush. It's going to be a definite difference. I don't want to compare it to yours.
Oh no, that's fine.
No.
But
Don't
you
do
know
that.
what I mean?
Don't do
There's a
that.
little bit of difference there.
But yeah, speaking to the point where he could have, repurposed the second pair of, I guess, knee pad decals to make him reach all the way to the boot. Just a little bit of a lapse in consistency, I guess. But overall, I really like it. It looks really nice. It looks great in package. That's all I can say.
I'll tell you what, man. Megan was really stoked to get that figure, and I was really happy too. I personally, I don't want to sound biased, but I really like the figure.
Yeah.
I think it's super clean, especially in box with all the accessories on it. That's considering everything. The attention to detail with the accessories, because he said he wanted to add more. He said he was going to hit up Chaos for the shirt, but he was on a time crunch.
Gonna add a pharaoh.
No red.
Yeah, no red, and he was on a time crunch. So, but yeah, he wanted to do more. So the whole what could he have done more to bring it to that level? He wanted to carry it all the way there. But yeah, due to things out of his control, but he definitely had he was in the right direction. He had it going.
I will say this: when you showed me what you guys received, or what Meg received from Secret Santa, straight away I looked and I thought, oh shit, that guy fucking went in. He absolutely
exactly.
Same.
He
took
did
it up to a new level.
Yeah.
It came in a box. Mine didn't. And
Yeah,
for sure,
I think it's the only one that did. One of the only ones that did.
The presentation is fantastic in terms of he's added in additional accessories. Okay, you can sit there and say, when did he wear a towel? I don't know when he had a towel, but even so, even if you want to look at just and I know we're not judging generosity here, but the thought that he went, let me just throw something in that I could otherwise sell if I didn't want, or just use for something of my own collection. He added in a lot to that particular item to give it a nicely rounded feel to it. So overall, when I look at this custom, I think it's pretty fucking sick because there's ambition there.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Similar to the Jushin Liger, he's gone for a alternative head situation. I know the Osprey had the alternative head, but that wasn't executed as well. But yeah, I think overall it is pretty fucking sick.
Jordan, what do you think about it? What's your final thoughts? Let's give
my rating.
Your overall first. Yeah, you're first.
I like all the boxes, the accessories, the presentation. The decals are a problem for me because it's not even like they're at the back, they're at the front. That's the first thing you're going to see. It's the first thing I saw. I would probably go for a 3, but with the chunk of accessories, I'm going to bump it to a 3.5.
All right. What about Figgles?
I'm gonna go 3.5 as well. Just presentation, and along with again the white presentation looks great. Does it leave something to be desired? Yeah, of course, but 3.5.
All right, I'm gonna jump in here with my final verdict. It's gonna be a hard 4. I think as far as delivering on what it's supposed to be, went above and beyond. I think attention to detail is a 4.5 out of 5. There could have been the extra half could have gone towards the knee area and taking care of tying up the loose ends on tightening everything up. That could have been a half point dock from a 4.5. So I'm gonna go ahead and give it a 4. So Jason,
He even gave him the extra fucking hands. What a guy!
yeah,
What a
What a
chat.
guy! No,
Fists,
do you know
too.
what? That's
Those
Christmas
AEW fists are
generosity.
hard to come by.
what you gonna give it, Jace?
I'll go 3.5. I think I was more on the 4 side until the experienced eyes pointed out some stuff. That wrist wrap is so strange to me.
Yeah.
Guys, can I just interrupt there? Did you just say AW fists are hard to come by?
Oh,
Yeah.
they were. They're not anymore. Like literally the past 2 waves, but the first 3 waves, there were no fisting.
Yeah,
There was
true.
0
Doesn't even
fisted
do.
hands.
I was just going to say, I do know a guy that does 3D printed fists.
the later waves, pretty much everybody comes with them to kind of fill it in. But those first like 3 or 4 waves of unrivaled were like, dude, there no one has fists.
All right, so
I got a 3-5.
so
Yeah.
Jordan 3-5. Jordan, I think no attitude. It's your final. What's your overall?
I would
We got-
say that's a 3-5.
All right, we got 4 3-5s and my 4. So regarding this match, who gets the 3 count, guys? Is it Macho Punk or is it going to be all in Cody?
This is the hardest one, I feel, because one's much cleaner than the other one, but one comes with a lot more effort and accessories.
I'm going Cody.
I'm going Cody.
Cody.
For what Jordan just said, it's the Cody.
Yeah, 100%.
I was going to be a prick and say Punk.
Fuck Punk.
It's so awkward.
Yeah, also fuck Punk. Yeah.
Nah, Cody. It was just Cody.
All right. So next contestant, our next match. Let me double check here. All right. So entry number 7. Next match we have E5150.
He did 2.
He did the Road Warriors.
That's
This is my boy that I
That's
put
the
you on,
submission.
Tommy,
Yeah,
this is the
this-
one I
yeah,
showed you about, right?
Yeah, this is E5150. Yeah, it is. So and this dude literally cranks out like a custom or 2 a day, every day consistently. I swear to God.
He does. He's fucking unreal.
He's a madman. So so the Zubas gear, LOD up on the screen. Everybody can see what we're looking at.
Who's posting it in the
So
chat?
nice. I already did.
I've only got the last one I've got is oh yeah, fucking hell, there's another CM Punk. Oh yeah, these are nice. I like these.
Yeah.
Yeah, these are sick. These are sick. This is all
Yeah.
hand painted. These details on the legs.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think he did everything by himself.
Yeah, this and I love Hawk. He looks fucking wicked. Do you know
Yeah, I
what?
think
This guy, right? I'm sorry to dominate. This guy I put Tommy onto, right? I found, don't know where the fuck he came from, but he kept on posting pictures daily.
Over and yeah, dude.
Daily,
E150.
non-stop. And I almost wanted to say to him, but you know, it's kind of like when, I don't know if anyone's been to the gym, when someone's doing something a little bit not as you would expect them to do it, or you think you can give them some advice, you're sometimes apprehensive to go over and say, why don't you try doing this exercise that way or this way or that way? But you don't want to bruise people's ego. You don't want to come in like a know-it-all when you're not a big guy yourself, all that sort of stuff.
Right.
But that aside from the fact that this guy just pumps out figures, he has got progressively better. When he started off, I could see that there was every bit of intent to try and create the figures that he was trying to create, but that, you know, there was a lot to be learned at that point. And I'm only being honest, I'm not being harsh. Looking at these, he's come so fucking far, and you know, these details on the legs, although the actual brush strokes themselves, if you're looking at painting application, is somewhat random. You're not looking to try and compare it to a particular piece of reference material. This is fucking really good work. Like, it's really good work, specifically on Hawk's tights, and the face paint. Everything about it, I like, and I've not seen anybody else do these particular customs in this attire. If I was looking to try and offer my advice as to how you could upgrade it, it would require him venturing into a new skill set that I haven't yet seen him sort of flourish particularly in, and that would be sculpting. Because if I was doing vests, I'd sculpt them. I would make sure that there was some 3D indication of that vest being there rather than just being painted on the skin. Mm-hmm. But that being said, they aren't decals, those where he's written Zubaz on there, right? Or Zubaz, whatever the fuck that's supposed to say.
They don't look like it, no.
No, these are hand painted. And he's done it twice. No,
they do look like decals.
Are you sure?
I'm looking at the B.
Yeah, me too.
On the figure on the left, the B looks like it's got a little fold right there in the middle.
Okay.
Yeah, I see it.
Okay, there might be decals. I can't
Regardless,
tell
it's a
the
good.
quality of my images, but the pants, or the trousers,
The pants
definitely-
have to be hand painted. If he
Yeah.
did hand paint the Zubas, then I'll give him that. He definitely hand painted the tops and the pants.
I really like them.
Yeah.
And I don't want to be biased just for the fact that I've liked this guy's post since I first found him, just because I like to see somebody that's absolutely going for it. And this guy is 100% effort. Like, he's non-stop. He's constantly on this.
The
game,
dude's a
and
machine. Yeah, he definitely is a machine.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. I can say that for sure. But yeah, I mean, maybe I'm a little bit biased, but I think these are fucking wicked. I think they're a great effort. Knowing what I've seen this guy start from to where he is now, amazing. And I hope, Jordan, you're looking through his other posts, right?
Aki's done a great
No,
job.
I'm just looking at what's already on there.
It's really nice. These are decent. There are improvements. Okay, so just before I hand over, and don't say anything again because I don't want to dominate, but the lines on the straps, they could be cleaner. As the strap itself transitions into the part that goes under the armpit, it would be unnatural for it to have a point, an angle. It would have a curve as it would go down from the strap, and it then followed under the armpit of the vest. So some of the line work, in terms of not just its shape but its application, could be improved upon. But the face paint is great. You know, you've got to remember, these people applied their own face paint back in the day. They didn't have makeup artists to do all that shit for them. So if you're looking for accuracy, it's probably just as accurate as they would have applied it themselves in a mirror. If they're decals on the text, that's fine. They're applied well enough. I can see that. And the detail on the pants is sick. And he sacrificed 2 expensive figures to make this.
Yeah, absolutely.
So yeah, I mean, to me,
what expensive figures have been sacrificed?
Those torsos are so expensive. I mean, other than the Brock now,
Legion of
but
Doom are not cheap figures, bro.
That torso one, is it Animal, the bigger one? That's a Brutus Barber Beefcake or a Rusev, and the other one's Triple H.
Oh, actually, yeah. Do you know what? I'm not a parts guy. You could be absolutely right. Okay, fair enough. Well, he's at least used the heads.
They're Jack's heads.
I stand super corrected.
I'm not. This is why I've not spoke up yet, because I just want to see what you're saying. So
No, I'm not a parts guy by any means at all. But in any case, even if he hasn't used Mattel,
no, that's not me. That's not me knocking.
No.
The use of expensive parts or not, it doesn't matter about what people spend on parts. For me.
No, I get that. I'm not judging it by the price, but just in terms of just like anybody recreating other Legion of Doom figures, if I would have mistaken them, which I obviously have, as the actual parts, then I would be giving them props, because I wouldn't fuck around with the.
He's used. I mean, obviously, upper body wise, he's used the accurate bodies to what you would use to what Mattel actually released. I would imagine he's probably not used the actual figures themselves, but he's used the accurate bodies, which to me gets a plus because it's accurate to what Mattel.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I like them. I think the trousers are nice, especially the green ones. The thing with a sort of camo style, or I could imagine this is sort of like an 80s gym sort of, you know what I mean, like the loose baggy trousers, like the boat from the Bone Dynamite, parachute pants.
Yeah, the old pants.
The pattern doesn't need to be perfect. So, although you can,
as nice as the green, but
no, it's not. But they do look good. I agree with you on the vest. The trouble is, he wanted a tight vest looking sort of thing, so I could see why he wouldn't have sculpted the vest on, but what he could have done was sculpted the muscles away. Do you know what I mean? Like sort of where the six pack is, could have smoothed that out, so it would have been more so. Yeah, so it didn't look like a spray on. The line work, like you said, the trouble with painting line work, what we said earlier, onto a naked body is that you do have to be perfect. There is a tip that I use, and where those lines aren't straight, I use a little scalpel and scratch them away.
Yeah.
So that you can tidy your lines up. I think the Zubaz or Zubaz is done very nicely. I'm trying to work out whether they're decals, but they're different sizes, so I don't think they are, and they're also a different shade
You know
of.
what? You make a great point. If anybody is out there listening and actually gives a shit about anything we're talking about, when it comes to these vest straps, if that's just painted directly onto the figure torso, and that has, which it looks as if it has, even a toothpick. So a toothpick will remove. I'm not telling you guys to suck eggs or anything. And for anyone who's listening, a toothpick will remove the paint from a stock figure with ease without scratching the surface. So if you want to be more liberal with your lines and they do end up being a little bit more tweaked out, you can tidy them up with a toothpick really, really easy. And hit some sealer afterwards. And it's not to say that this guy didn't do it because he didn't want to. He just doesn't. He might not know that it's that easy. But if that's what he wanted to achieve, then he could get a real clean lines with a toothpick on that.
The heads, I forget. Sorry, Hawk is the one in the green. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's looked like it's been repainted. It's been repainted nice. Like what you said about the face paint, they don't have to be perfect because it's face paint. My issue with the heads are too big. That's because they're jacks.
Yeah.
Obviously, that's a nice pose with the tongue out. You don't get that on Mattel. But if I was to be picky about the size of heads, which literally is what I live my life for, they're too big. Even Animals is too big. I think Hawks is probably the right size for Animal, and I think Hawks is too big.
But I think they're passable. They are passable.
I don't know. See, what do we say? Passable is not acceptable. But I understand what's been done and why they've done it because of the choice of the tongue out, which is, to be honest, it is a superior.
Iconic, yeah.
It's a superior scan to Mattel's. I just think they're too big. Now, do you use bigger bodies to make the heads look smaller? Probably not. I think with the parts available, they've made very good choices. I would have probably made Hawk's arms probably a little bit bigger, but that's not his fault. That's Mattel's for producing shitty fucking skinny arms.
Fucking hate them.
I like
Jason,
them.
what's your thoughts on him, man? What's your naked raw thoughts on him as an unbiased non?
Are these Mankind boots?
Are they what?
Mankind shoes?
No, that's the Rock.
Yeah, like Rock or Uso.
Oh yeah, like the Jordans, for lack of a better term. I really like this. I really like the detail and the work that went into the Zubaz pants, because those things, when I first saw this, I popped. I was like, oh, these are.
Dude, same. When he sent me that
being
submission,
said,
I was like, what?
As we were saying, the tank tops leave a little to be desired.
Yeah.
Line work could be a little better. That's not. I mean, for what it's worth, it's still really good. I really like them. They're good.
Chase?
All right. Jace.
I'm on the I'm same with everybody. Like the camo 80 style pants are just, I don't know what I thought when I first saw them, but I was like, I don't think he painted them. But then obviously on further inspection, they reminded me of the dudes who just did those Young Bucks a few months back. Those Young Bucks were floating around the custom sites, and they had like the almost tie-dye kind of craziness designs. Those are all hand painted as well. So I'm just sometimes I just look at customs and it just awes me, because like I'm obviously not on y'all's level. These guys are ahead of me, so even this kind of stuff, I'm just like, damn, dude, y'all are some wizards.
The pants do go hard. I'll say like that. He definitely did a good submission. The pants go hard.
If I can add one thing, I think Attitude is going to need to have his own podcast when it comes to posing figures, because the posing of these ones need to leave a lot to be desired. But
right.
Even me, I don't know how to pose figures. I just put them standing straight up. Like,
I love a good pose, bro.
I'm not a photographer, for sure.
Same.
Yeah,
I
we're
love
not photographers. Yeah, Zuba's pants look great. The actual word Zubas look good on both figures. They look pretty good. It's the tank tops that really bring them down, and like the heads. Once you see that they're about 10-15% too big, it kind of, then you can't really look away from it. Then it's just like animals over there with it. What you looking at? You know, I don't know. The tank tops. Yeah, that's the elephant in the room. Is the line work on the edges of those. They could have been cleaner. But yeah, the pants really just that's the first thing your eyes go to, and they look good. It's not like the first thing your eyes go to is something ugly, or it's they don't even go to the tank tops. They go straight to the pants. So, I'll jump in first with my overall. I'm gonna give this overall. I'm gonna give it a 3.5. So there's my overall 3.5.
I'm going overall 4.
And that's solely giving the pants like a 2 just by themselves, and then the 2.5 at least, and then the Zubaz logo combined with the decent enough face paint. It's good. I think the black on Hawk could have been a little bit. I don't know. It's one of those things like Attitude was saying. If you're doing it by your finger on yourself, it's going to look sort of like that. But if you wanted like a crisper design, I don't know. Yeah, there's my score, 3.5.
They're definitely not the same decal, because the depth of the Hawk figure compared to the animal figure is completely different.
Yeah, I'm seeing that now. I think what I'm seeing is I think he did a white base and then did the like pink purple over it.
And then went with black after.
They're a different size.
They're like different shades of purple or pink, whatever it is, hot pink. They're different shades. The one's darker than the other. And I think that just has to do with, I'm pretty sure he did a white base and then went over the white with the color. And it's just different saturations.
And it's right over the ab crunch of Hawk as well. Whatever he's done, and it's difficult to tell whether that's a decal or a paint job, that's decent. I like it. Even the outline of the buckle, that's something to be appreciated. There's a buckle there for a non-existent belt. But the actual square itself,
I think in real life that's where they put their logo patch, because they're like a cloth pant. So I think
yes, they are.
The logo patch.
Yeah, I know the ones you're talking about.
I think that's where the Velcro goes.
Yeah, they're like elastic waistband almost.
Yeah, I got you. I know that one.
I'm gonna give it a 4 as well.
4, 3.5 for me. Jace.
I'll go 4. Those pants are bananas.
Jordan.
I'm gonna go 3.5.
All right. So that's contestant 1. All right. So our next versus is a CM Punk. Now, which one is this one?
Halloween.
The Halloween.
Punkoween.
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 Trying to figure out who sent this one. Give me a sec. I'll have to go in my phone real quick, guys.
Quick one on this. Right, looking at this. Sorry to go back on the earlier Punk. If this is a straight up Punk, which I believe it might be, the Macho Man used Cody Rhodes upper thighs. That's why they were thicker. Because this is skinny little bitch.
Yeah, he's got little skinny legs here.
All right, so this is a what we're seeing on the screen here for the YouTubers is RS Figs submission. This is his Hello Punk, Halloween CM Punk. This one's using the same head as the Macho Punk. Looks like the same head, but not the same formula. I'm gonna jump in here first off and give my my critique and my thoughts, because I have a specific thing I want to point out.
It's fine.
The specific thing that I want to point out here with this Punk is the tattoo decals. So the tattoo decals, I know exactly where they came from because I helped him get them. They're from Mac Decals, and I used these decals for a custom Punk that I did, and the reason why is purely because of how the chest tat blends into the shoulders. I am a person with tattoos, and I don't think Curb Stomp is a person who has tattoos himself. I don't know the guy, but Mac Decals is heavily tattooed and seems to know how they operate and work on skin better. And the way that the chest tattoo blends right into the ball shoulder joint, and there's no gap, there's no skin gap in between. It just goes right into that Pepsi logo, and on the other side it goes.
Just got to
right
shoot
into
off for a sec, boys. Back in 2 seconds.
and then the chest tat separates on the other side and blends right into that Spitfire logo. Is crucial to me as a person who is like a sucker for those details, and the overall finish being what it is supposed to be. That little detail is crucial because any other punk you see is going to have that skin gap between the chest and that ball joint shoulder. There's a big gap of skin, so not having that there is crucial. And there's so many shades and tones of color in that set of decals for the tattoos. Mac uses many different shades of colors there, not just like a 6-color palette. So the decal app on these tattoos, in my opinion, is A+. It's 5 out of 5. The AMA logos on the knee pads, a lot of people do not add that, and I think that if you do add that, that's definitely an extra pop from me, because I'm all about those small details, and having the AMA knee pads is huge. When, like I said, the thing here is like the overall, what were you going for and what could have been added to make it better. So here, I mean, he went all in with these decals, with the shoulder decals and the, like on the back, and the decals for the trunks and the kick pads. Very well done. These kick pads are the accurate ones as opposed to the other punk we saw. The Macho Punk. This one does have the accurate strapped front kick pads. And I think, now I know Mac Decals also does offer the Leia and Han, but that's not relevant to this figure, obviously. The same head was used as the Macho Punk, the stock head, which to this figure, it does it justice. I mean, that's the era of punk that this figure comes from. Looking at the decal apps, I don't see any cracks or folds or bubbles.
Are all the tattoos? Are all the tattoos decal applied?
Yeah, all of them. All of them.
Okay.
Yep. All of those tattoos are all decal applied, and he nailed it, because Mac does not give any like guidelines of where to cut, so it all comes as one big blob of an image, and he kind of had to guesstimate and measure and cut and do all the good stuff himself, all the hard work, the grunt work. So he nailed that decal app. I don't see any bubbles or, like I said, folds or tears or rips or anything like that anywhere. He did a phenomenal job. No folds on the decals.
Hell yeah.
Dig. It's a dig.
What's his name?
Roman.
Roman.
It's the big dog.
Hello, Dig. Over here in this mothership, in the ItFigures mothership, we love Dig.
Yes.
You like Digs?
We love Dig, and we love Keith.
Oh damn, Shredder's down there too. I didn't even see your Shredder. That's
a
YouTubers
sick
out
Shredder.
there are Dig or Keith people. So there's my impressions on it. The decal app looks great. The head serves justice because that's the era. The parts are all correct. The all of the decal apps look phenomenal. I don't think there was any paint involved here. Doesn't look like it. If there was, it was. Let me see. Are these arms double jointed?
No, they're not.
They're not. Okay, so he probably used the stock punk. I don't know though, because he's got the
endless.
Yeah, he did. He did use stock punk.
He's used a basic. Might not be a basic, but if you go onto his page and find the actual custom, he's used an uncoloured tattoo arm, and I think what's probably happened is he's applied Max over the top, which is smart, to be honest. So if you look at a picture from there, you'll see that those arms are actually uncoloured.
Okay, yeah. So he
But, I mean,
used stock punk. So there's no paint involved here.
No, but points for creativity by using Mattel's arms to line up your own.
Yeah.
That head's fucking awful, isn't it?
Oh, I know, but we're not docking him because he didn't make it. But it's just period correct. We're not here to fuck with Mattel. We can do that on a different podcast. So yeah, so here again, we're just looking at. It looks like we're looking at just a decal application, but it's obviously this one is more difficult than just a Danhausen, a couple of Danhausen tattoos. This is far more difficult. So that's gonna be it for me. Yeah, I'm gonna have to, even if it was a 5 out of 5, I'm gonna have to just at least, I don't know. There's no paint involved here. I'm gonna have to go. I don't know. Everything looks so good though.
Very clean. It's very nice looking. This is
4.5, man. I'm gonna go 4.5. What could it have been done to make it better? The whole theme of this is, I think that you could have done something with the head.
This could have this looks like it could be what Mattel should have been putting out in terms of the tattoos. I've had those tattoos from Mac. He did them for me on a UFC figure, and they are nice. They are applied really well. What could have been done better was he could have added more to the wrist straps, because those wrist straps are fucking god awful as well. Bit of bandage or a bit of sculpting or something to bring out the aesthetic would have made those arm tattoos pop very nicely. I like the AMA logo on the knee pads. I think, myself included, people should start doing more of that. I think the boots are not. It's just a nice, clean overall. My only knock is that he's applied the tattoos very nicely, but he hasn't made the tattoos. Max made the tattoos, so it's outsourced. It's nice. I just don't think it's just one of those ones that's not too ambitious. There's no part swapping. I mean, I'm pretty sure even the armband is a generic CM Punk armband, but it's clean.
Yeah, I'm gonna revise my score to a 4, man. Yeah, there's really no pain involved, and I'm gonna revise it to a 4. Sorry to interrupt you. I'm just gonna revise it.
No, that's fine. It's fine. I'm not saying I don't like it. I do think maybe the lower legs from the top of the thigh are a different colour to the actual thigh itself. Sorry, not the thigh, the ball joint sort of area. If you zoom in on the front of that.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, it's nice. It's a nice looking figure. Yeah. If I'm giving a score, I'm gonna say 3.5.
Jason, man, what's your thoughts and score?
Pretty much the same as everybody else. I mean, the decal work is pretty much flawless. I pulled my CM Punk out too my Mattel Punk out too to kind of compare to the tattoos, because I don't actually realize how little he does have on his Mattel, but yeah, I mean, it's a huge difference. I mean, not let alone the Pepsi, everything else, a lot of fill in that Mattel missed. But kind of what we were saying about the other Punk, it's a lot done, but not a lot done. But this is a little bit more accurate, I think, with the pads and the parts and everything. So yeah, and it's a CM Punk. I mean, it's no question what I think about CM Punk, how I feel. That's a biased vote anyway. So 3, right down the road. It looks great though. Like I wouldn't complain at all. I'd put it on my shelf.
All right, Figgles.
I would also put this on my shelf. Definitely, it's cool looking figure. Was there any customization other than a few things here and there? He did a boot. He got the boots off and put on the accurate knee pads. Which, don't get me started on those Mattel big, bulky, stupid looking knee pads.
They're the worst. They're the worst.
But he made it look at least accurate in that aspect. Although there wasn't much other customization done, I'll give it a 3. It's a good figure. It's beautiful, but it's it's a 3.
Attitude.
It's a tough one for me. And we talk about a lot about decals today. I don't really do decals, so it can be difficult for me to judge them. Firstly, on my view of them, but also I suppose the second part I can judge is at least the application. And looking at the left arm, it looks really, really well done. Like there's no doubt about it. How well that's been put on there is very well done in terms of application and skill. But we are just looking at decals on this one. The boots are a strong point. The left arm is a strong point. There's not been much done to the wrist tapes, as Jordan said, which could have been helped with a little bit of sculpt, or just a bit of something. Even
Some kind of texture.
The suggestion of something with a bit of line work, perhaps, just to give the indication of shading or something like that. But again, as Alex said, I'll be more than happy to have it on my shelf, but I think it's a 3.
Right. All right. So that was the first contestant on that one.
No, those are head to head.
So are we this or that was the second contestant? So we're
head-to-head.
we're this or thatting. So it's gonna have to be the LOD Zubas versus the
LOD.
Halloween.
Yeah, that's a same.
LOD.
Destruction.
I'm gonna go LOD on this one. Yeah, there's just
Yeah,
there's more involved.
I am as
there
well.
was more effort. There was